In this video, I'm going to hopefully tell you what you need to get started using OBS Studio together with the LightBoard. And those two things, in my opinion, are a very valuable combination for presenting and for teaching. So the software I'm talking about is free open source software, and it's called OBS Studio. And right away, you can see there's a problem with what I've written. I know you can't read it. I need to flip this image around, and that is actually how I found OBS Studio. I was looking for software, ideally that was free, that could transform my image. I tried doing a Zoom call or a Teams call, whatever I was working in at the time, with the LightBoard, and I had clicked on the option to mirror my video, but what I realized was that that only mirrored it for me. It didn't actually mirror it for the other people that I was on the call with. So I needed something to really, truly flip the image. And that's how I found OBS Studio. I'd encourage you to go on YouTube. If you want to learn about OBS Studio, there are tons of wonderful resources to learn about. The basic things you need to learn about are scenes and sources. And those are both shown here. I'll just quickly show you. Right now I'm in a scene that just has a scene with me. I can also switch to a scene that has me together with a graphic, and you can see my writing is the right way around in this particular scene. I've got other scenes, cool stuff like this. I'll show you how to do this in another video, but just to stick to the basics for now, if we just go back to just the blank LightBoard with me, what I do in this particular scene is I click on the source, and that is my video camera or my video capture device. Here in the list, here's the list of sources for this scene. And with this selected, I go up here to Edit, and then I go to Transform, and then I come down here to Flip Horizontal. And once I've flipped horizontal, now you can read my writing. It's really just that simple. The next thing you need to do is you need to be able to make OBS into a so-called virtual camera, meaning that whatever I'm showing in my OBS scenes, I want that to sort of function as if I had another video camera that had all of that stuff in the image. So what I do is I use this virtual camera button. So I go down to the bottom right, and there's a little button that says Start Virtual Camera. So when I click on that button, Start Virtual Camera, that tricks my computer into thinking that I have another camera plugged in, but really it's just whatever I'm showing in OBS. So when I go into Zoom or I go into Teams, and then I select my camera, you can do it in Teams in the hardware settings, or you can do it in Zoom a bit more easily just with that little up arrow beside the video icon, and you'll see a list. You might just see your computer's built-in webcam, but you should also see OBS or OBS camera or OBS virtual camera. I forget exactly what it says. And as long as you have this button pressed for virtual camera, that should be active on your computer. And I always make a habit of starting OBS first, starting the virtual camera, and then opening Teams, and then opening Zoom. And I've just found that doing it in that order gives you a little bit more of a reliable procedure. I have gone into Zoom where I forgot to activate the virtual cam, and then OBS is not in the list. I go to OBS, start the virtual camera, but then it doesn't appear right away in Zoom. So if you do OBS first, start the virtual camera, then go into your Zoom or Teams, I find that that's a better procedure. So with those two little tips, that should be enough to get you started, to be able to participate in a webinar or to teach a class where you can write on the LightBoard with the image flipped, and that you can do it through Teams or Zoom or WebX or whatever platform you're using.